So it provides, integrated financial planning services. It helps increase the CPA's revenue. And I have, in the 3 years, I've actually engaged with about 15 CPAs in California under this program. So here's how we do it. And this process, quite frankly, is no different than most advisors that are listening in right now on how you handle your individual and business clients. If I'm going into a CPA and talking solutions before I understand their firm, that I'm probably not going to have a long-term relationship with that CPA. So the first step in our process, besides the introduction letters and telling a little bit about the program from a global standpoint, is do a firm assessment. It's a 7-page fact finder that allows us to get an idea of, here's, the P&C, the profit and losses on the CPA. Here's who their clients are. So it allows us to identify and quantify the opportunity. We develop a written business marketing plan that outlines their goals, their objectives, strategies. We'll put together an initial plan, an action plan. We'll have, a lot of details on how they set up their office, whether they actually go to a separate LLC, and it's all about practice management. Again, it is a business model that is not transactional. It is a process. The firm assessment, again, as I mentioned briefly, will outline here are their goals, here's what they're doing presently, and it's based on the AICPA self-assessment, which, again, is part of the Moss-Adams study, so that's instant credibility. And, again, if CPAs have a problem, it's that they don't have a business mentality. They don't have a written marketing plan. So, huge opportunity. As part of the marketing plan, we'll actually identify their existing and new clients into what we call, we'll segment their clients into A, B, and C practices, and it's identified by profession, demographics, association. So it allows the CPA and the advisor and the PA program to concentrate on their clients that have the most potential. So segmentation of their clients and actually showing them how to increase their clientele, which is, again, a huge part of this program, right, is part of the marketing plan. So the results is we'll segment their clients to identify their client base. We'll provide them with email newsletters, webinars, key messages to get the message to those key players, and we'll show them specific strategies that I'll talk about in a little bit about how to add value-added services to these key customer groups through payroll services, credit card processing, insurance reviews, estate planning reviews, pension reviews. All of those are value-added services, and that's specific strategies that we have programs for each one based on this targeted customer group. The phased implementation, that'll be part of my role, all right, is I want to make sure that, if we're providing this program through Provada, we want to make sure that the advisors that engage in it are trained. So we're committed to doing training, webinars, the individual outside vendors that provide the payroll services and the credit card processing. We'll actually do separate webinars for the individual advisors. So the whole program is geared on a phase implementation. I actually have a 2-page implementation checklist that outlines from step A through step Z what each step is, when we're going to do it. So it's very, very structured. And CPAs like that. So we provide on-site marketing support. It's proactive. It's systematic. The clients are the CPAs. They don't lose control of the clients. Typically, the advisor will work, 4 hours, one half day a week in the CPA office, and it's all structured. It's all outlined. So the CPA, the advisors understand their role and who's involved and when they're involved. So practice management, we actually do quarterly reviews, roundtable meetings. I have a lot of practice management material. That's part of it. This slide actually might be a little bit too small to read, but it points out what the PA program did is we know that Penn Mutual can't provide all the services that CPAs and their clients need. So we went out and did due diligence, and we actually have payroll services. E-checks, for example, is a payroll service. That's part of the PA program. And just to give you one of the reasons this program is successful, it adds non-accounting revenue to the CPA. Most of you have heard of Paychex and ADP. They're very good payroll services. But the question I always ask the CPA is, does ADP and Paychex give you revenue back based on the referral? E-checks provides revenue back. If e-checks can provide the same payroll service for the CPA's payroll clients and save them money, the CPA and the advisor get a percentage back of the cost savings. Now, that's a small revenue, but it is non-accounting revenue. And that's where the CPA is going to grow revenue, is the CPA can't bill enough to increase and offset the losses they've had in their accounting revenue. They need to look at non-accounting revenue. And some of these services on this page might be because of the marketing plan and the questionnaire we do on the CPA. These are the types of services we can offer. They're independent, they're objective. We have a credit card processing unit, for example, iTransact. Every time you or a CPA or one of their clients use a credit card, there's a fee. iTransact does that transaction. They do charge fees for it, but a percentage of the cost savings goes back to the CPA. Again, thinking outside the box, by offering these services to their clients, it provides non-accounting revenue to them. And we all know that when you can save individuals money at this time, that's important, and that cost savings could be a solution or could be used to fund a pension plan, a non-qualified plan, or it could be used for buy-sell. So that's where the product comes into play, but the product is secondary, all right, to the packaging. Again, the success of this program is that even though it's a national program that has been tested, we provide local service. I'm your regional contact. So it's local, regional, and national focus. The advisors listening in already have a relationship with their own CPA. When's the last time your own CPA has provided you a referral, all right? And some of you have relationships with CPAs. You have gotten 1 or 2 referrals. But if you want to go to the next level, go to your CPA and ask them, have you looked at the AICPA Moss Adams study? Are you aware of Vision 2011? And if I could show you a strategic alliance that's based on adding value-added services and increasing your non-accounting revenue, would you be interested in learning more about that program, the process that we use? Again, after April 18th, most CPAs will take a month off, and then they need to get back into the planning process. They need to focus not so much on their own clients, but on their business. And the key, again, to our approach is let us show you how we can improve your business and at the same time add value-added services to your clients. Does that make sense? And I know you're all on mute, right, so you can't answer that question. So the process, again, is very structured. We have a timeline calendar so the CPA, the advisor, will know at any point in time the next step in the process, and it'll be proactive, so there will not be any surprises. This just walks you through the first month, months 2 and 3, months 4. So at any point in time, the CPA, the local advisor, and myself as a regional director all the players will understand the process, the players in the process, and the next step in the process. So again, no surprises. So our action steps, once we get introduced to the CPA, once we do a discovery meeting with the CPA through a fact finder, we want to evaluate where they're at with their current practice, evaluate their relationships, and, we can survey their clients, or they know their clients, but the real key is we can provide them with a written business marketing plan based on their objectives, based on their goals. So really, quite frankly, the opportunity is now. We have a maturing marketplace with us, the baby boomers. CPAs need to be more aggressive, more competitive, and the future, I believe, is integrating the CPA in your marketing practice and doing that through a strategic alliance. Excuse me. So, I've talked a lot. I think we have, just as an overview before we open it up, or as a summary before we open it up, we do have an entire kit on the PAA program, which we can provide. It'll show you the program itself. It has the Moss Adams study included in it, Vision 2011. I do quarterly webinars on new developments in the PAA program. I am available to do conference calls with CPAs and the agent. That's a service we want to provide through Provada. Another website two websites that I'll make you aware of. Again, one I've already mentioned is the Professional Advisors Alliance website, www.professionaladvisorsalliance.com. The second one, if you really want to be a resource provider to CPAs and enrolled agents, subscribe at no cost to benefitlinks.com. benefitlinks.com. The third website is freearisa.com, which is a database of existing pension plans, but it also has a newsletter, all right? So you can share those articles to the CPA, and once they view you as a resource provider, they're going to refer you to their clients. Rather than doing the referral method, we believe the way to engage with the CPA is through a strategic alliance. Create a business relationship, all right, that has a marketing plan and an outline on who they are, what they do, all the players, and it, in the long term, is the way CPAs are going. And the last thing before I open it up to questions is, again, one of the paths we've talked about is the CPA being licensed through insurance or through securities. That's not a requirement of the program. It's just one way to increase non-accounting revenue. There are other ways to do that, and the strategies that are part of the PA program will outline that. If there's any interest at all, I'll be happy to take questions now, and or they have my contact information that we can share later on, so that if you want to do an individual conference call, we'll be available. This program is available because of our relationship with Provada, and we value that relationship. And Kevin Lord actually, can do a lot of product webinars, and Kevin is the relationship manager for this relationship. His role is really to make sure that if you haven't heard of Penn Mutual or our services and products, Kevin can provide that information, through Provada for you.